Hello guys, welcome back in Goku Manhwa channel. Let's continue. Rosa found herself inside a dream that felt strangely vivid. She saw a man going upstairs, his figure familiar yet unclear. She followed him with her eyes, feeling a rush of emotion that she could not fully explain. When she reached out to him in the dream, she asked if he loved her. His face remained blurred, as if the dream refused to reveal who he truly was. The lack of clarity frustrated her. She felt anger rising, not because she hated him, but because she desperately wanted an answer. She looked at him with hope, waiting for even the smallest sign of affection or confirmation. Instead, he simply looked back in confusion, acting as though he did not understand what she wanted from him. She repeated her question, demanding to know if he truly loved her. He tried to calm her, but his tone only made her feel more trapped and controlled. She raised her voice, insisting that she needed to know the truth. The intensity of the moment suddenly shifted when a fly dropped somewhere in the background of her dream, breaking the tension in an odd and unsettling way. She ignored the distraction and continued to push for an answer, begging him to tell her clearly whether he loved her or not. She stared at him again with the same hopeful expression, waiting for him to say something meaningful. Instead, he remained silent. He did not respond, did not move, and offered nothing in return. The silence crushed her. Her heart felt heavy, and she realized she was being left without closure. The pain and confusion made her question herself, wondering who she even was in that moment and why she cared so much. Suddenly, the dream faded. Rosa opened her eyes and found herself lying in a bed, wearing a red dress. She stared up at the ceiling, trying to process what had just happened. Above her, she noticed a CCTV camera mounted on the ceiling, leading her to realize she was in a hotel room. She sat up in shock, feeling disoriented and muttering that she had just experienced a very strange dream. As she tried to gather her thoughts, she turned and noticed a topless man lying beside her. The sight startled her, causing her to yell in surprise. Her loud reaction woke him up, and he responded as if she had frightened him. Before she could make sense of the situation, a girl sitting on the sofa spoke up, reacting to the commotion. Rosa panicked, demanding to know who they were and how they had gotten into her room. The man looked at her with disbelief, questioning whether she was being serious. Then, a sudden memory or image flashed in Rosa's mind. She saw herself throwing a drink into a guy's mouth. The realization only added to her confusion, leaving her unsure of what had happened before she woke up. The guy in the room looked at Rosa and tried to explain the situation to her. He told her that they had partied together the night before. He reminded her about the rooftop party at the hotel, expecting that she would remember it clearly. Rosa seemed unsure, so he continued, saying that she had been the one who invited them back to her room after the party ended. As he spoke, she looked around and noticed that there were a few more people passed out in the living room area, confirming that something wild must have happened. After thinking for a moment, she admitted that she must have blacked out, accepting that she could not remember anything from the night before. The guy reacted to her admission by saying that she was just as icy as the rumors describe her. His tone suggested that people had a certain impression of her, and seeing her forget everything so casually only reinforced that image. Then the girl who had been on the sofa got up and approached Rosa. She asked if Rosa remembered her name. Rosa tried to act confident and replied with a name she believed was correct, calling her Cassie. The girl immediately corrected her, saying her name was Genevieve. The guy laughed, amused that Rosa had guessed so incorrectly, and said that she was not even close. Later, near the beach, a group of guys were playing football in the sand. Rosa looked relaxed and carefree as she posted a picture of herself in a bikini on Instagram. After posting it, she stared at the photo, examining how it looked. One of her friends nearby reminded her that she had said she came to this place just for a break. Another friend commented that she should make the most out of the hotel amenities while she could, mentioning the hair oil specifically. A third girl added that Rosa would probably go home in a month or two, suggesting that her stay might not be very long. Someone from the back approached and joined the conversation. The person pointed out that the hair oil she was using would not help with her damaged hair ends. Rosa reacted loudly, yelling at the girl who had told her to use all the hotel amenities and the hair oil, clearly irritated by the comment. The girl then told Rosa to go swim laps, calling her cue ball in a teasing way. At that moment, Rosa noticed that someone was calling her. She picked up the phone and answered casually. The person on the other end questioned her, asking if that was how she greeted someone she had not spoken to in a month. Rosa seemed surprised, and the caller pointed out that it had been that long since they last talked. He then said that he assumed she hated doing anything with her life being all over the place, implying that she often avoided responsibility or structure. The call left Rosa caught between annoyance and confusion, unsure how to respond to everything happening around her. The person on the phone told Rosa that she was a damn good daughter and then asked what she wanted. She tried to respond casually, but he quickly changed the topic and asked when she was coming back to Korea. She answered honestly that she did not know, and that she would probably return right before the semester started. His tone made her suspicious, so she asked why he wanted to know. She could tell that something was going on. He confirmed it, saying that something big had just happened. He sounded excited and amused, holding a cigarette in his hand as he talked. When she pressed him for details, he refused to explain. He said that the situation was so shocking that he could not even say it over the phone. He told her that if she was curious, she should come back to Korea and see it herself. His refusal left her confused and frustrated, unable to figure out what he meant. As she stared at her phone, one of her friends asked if the person she was talking to was her dad. Rosa immediately responded that she did not have a dad. Another friend then asked if it was her Korean boyfriend. Rosa denied that as well, saying it was just a college friend. Even while she answered them, she kept thinking about the call. She wondered what he was talking about, especially since he normally did not avoid answering her. She questioned whether something had happened to her mother, the thought appearing quietly in her mind. Worried, she flipped her phone and began searching for news about her mother. She scrolled through the results, but nothing unusual appeared. She told herself mentally that she was not seeing anything special. She then checked the latest updates and found an article about the Flora, a luxury hotel brand with more than 30 locations worldwide. The article said that the Flora Hotel and Resort had just opened a new branch in Miami, featuring a rooftop bar, 5 dining restaurants, and a VIP-only casino. It also mentioned that Rosa Lee, 22 years old and the only daughter of chairwoman Lee Soo-ryan, had posted about the new branch on social media, causing a major spike in bookings. That was the only information available. She reacted with surprise, realizing it had already become news. She tapped her phone upside down against her hand and then looked up at the sky, thinking that something truly interesting must be happening. At the Korean International Airport, the news reported continued public interest, saying that the success was clear and that attention toward the young continued to grow. Rosa returned to Korea to meet her mother, carrying a suitcase and a bag in her hand. As she walked out, a driver approached her and welcomed her back to Korea. She placed her suitcase in the back of the car and prepared to leave. The driver commented that she had come back early this time, marking the beginning of her return. The driver mentioned that Rosa usually stayed abroad for the full 2 months of her break, but this time she had returned earlier than expected. She leaned back in her seat and simply said that she felt like coming back. With the holiday approaching, she thought it would be a good chance to visit her mother sooner than planned. She hoped to surprise her, believing her mother had no idea she was returning to Korea. She asked if her mother was doing okay, wanting reassurance. The driver responded, but the tone did not sound very convincing. Rosa noticed it immediately and thought to herself that something about the answer felt off. She brushed it aside, deciding not to worry until she saw her mother in person. When she arrived at her home, she took in the sight of the luxurious building. The place looked shiny and polished, with no room for shadows or imperfections. It represented the life she had always known, one filled with wealth and comfort. She stepped inside, exhausted from traveling, and expected someone to help her with her luggage. She called out, asking for someone to take her suitcase upstairs. However, there was no response. The house was completely silent, and she realized she was alone. She assumed the housekeeper must have gone out grocery shopping and figured they would handle the luggage later if she left it where it was. As she walked further in, she accidentally stepped on a pair of men's shoes. They were not hers, and the unexpected contact caused her to trip. She fell to the ground and felt a sharp impact on her knee, hearing a sound from it as she hit the floor. She looked at the shoes in confusion, thinking about how flawless her life had been up until the age of 22. She had rarely faced situations that disrupted her comfort. The presence of those shoes immediately stood out, since they clearly did not belong to her. That thought triggered a mental image of her mother with a man, doing something intimate. She continued upstairs, unaware that her mother was currently in a room getting ready with her boyfriend. As she reached the hallway, she noticed a door slightly open with light coming from the inside. She stared at it from the other side, wondering why the light was spilling out into the hallway. She thought to herself that despite the house appearing perfect and bright, She could see plenty of shade beneath the surface. Rosa slowly approached the partially open door, still thinking about the shoes downstairs and the uneasy feeling growing inside her. When she reached the doorway, she looked inside and saw her mother lying with a man, kissing him. The sight shocked her completely. Despite her sheltered life and confidence, nothing had prepared her for the moment of witnessing her mother in such an intimate situation. She pushed the door open fully. Her mother gasped when she saw her standing there and questioned why she had returned so early. Rosa looked at her mother, but her attention quickly shifted to the man beside her. The man turned to look at Rosa as well. He had a smart and attractive appearance, with defined abs that were clearly visible. He stood up, revealing a tattoo on his arm that included a rose, a flower, and a butterfly. His posture and appearance made him look confident and physically appealing. The entire scene left Rosa stunned, unable to process the sudden reality she had walked into.